Hey, what's up, guys? Houston here. So I was talking to a guy, and he told me that his job told him that they do not deal with the W-4 form. Let me tell you guys something. All jobs that have an HR department has access to this form. And this is the form to stop the federal government from taking taxes out of your check so that you can bring home a bigger paycheck. All right. So if they tell you that, they're lying to you. Okay. And you need to go back and ask somebody else because everybody that has an HR department has access to this here form. All right. So if you work in a job, definitely this is where you actually need to go to your HR and request this form. Is going to stop them from taking federal income taxes out of your check. Now, again, I tell people to do this for 3 to 4 months. This is the best interest, no interest loan that you can have, okay? Because this is your money. And the reason I tell people do it for 3 to 4 months is because it gives you enough time to try to get caught up on some of your bills. So this is the first resource that I would start with if I'm struggling, right? Then the second one is I would go to class action, okay? And the reason that I would go to class action because this is free money, okay? And so with this free money, you can click on it and it tells you like all of the different lawsuits that have happened. Okay. And so you do not need a receipt. A lot of these companies have been sued maybe 5, 10 years, and they just finally got up to settling. And so you have the right to go here and you may have bought a Coca-Cola product, some Doritos, something from Target or Walmart or something online, and those type of companies have been sued, okay? And they finally settled. And so even like with collection companies, and all you do is come over here and like see this like data breaches. Like it even talks about the different data breaches and stuff like that. So you may have had a data breach that may have happened. Social Security Administration Holdings data breach. Okay. So it gives all of this here information. And so you do not need a receipt in order to claim money. That's the reason I continue to tell you guys this is your free money. All right. And I know people grab at least a couple $1,000s a month just off of this. They'll go through this here and they'll find all the companies that have been sued and they will reference to make sure they don't need a receipt and they will go and they will put a claim in for it. All right. With no receipt. All right. Now, here's another place to help you. This is called unclaimed.org. All right. And so with unclaimed.org, you come over here to find a claim, and then you can say search for your unclaimed property. It's free. Claim, you can claim your found property, search beyond states. So if you're doing the state, then all you do is come over here. You click on that. You go down here, whatever state you in. You may be in Kansas City. And so when you come to Kansas City, then you all you do is put in your information. That's a newsletter, but you can put in your information and it would actually tell you if you have any money outstanding. Now, the reason that I'm telling you guys this is because every time I tell people they may have a family member that has money that has passed on and they maybe can collect on it. You may have relatives that don't even know that they have money that's held by the state, and you can help them collect it, and they may give you a percentage. But these are your free resources. When you're struggling and you need money, this is where you start. Then you have find help. This is another one I mentioned. And the reason I mention this is because this is a free money resource as well. Not only for your resources, like you put in your zip code, just like I did, and it'll tell you like all the programs that are in your community. You can put in any address and they'll tell you what programs are in your community. And so, as you can see here, look at it food, housing, goods, transit, health, money. So, they have all of these here resources to help you. And I try to share with you all these resources because these resources are the best ones that would help you be able to get access to funding the fastest. Okay. Now, helping you pay your bills, I should say, the fastest. Now, for those of you that need a loan, then you need to look at the different platforms. And some of the platforms that I mentioned, like Viva Payday Loans. Now, here's the thing about it. You can see that the interest rate is 5.99 and it goes up to 35.99. However, you can see that it also goes up to $5,000. All right. So if you need more money, they do go up to $5,000. And you can tell it how long you need to take out the loan. Now, if you're on government benefits, it will still work with you. If you are um, self-employed, if you're on welfare, if you're on social security benefits, they have these type of loans to work with you. You just have to show that you have a reoccurring income, and also making sure that you have an active checking account. Now, I would tell you, with these type of platforms, they usually want to see you have a regular reoccurring income coming in, at least $800 after taxes. Okay. And you will have a higher chance of approval. Again, now please understand, if you only have $800 and your rent is $800, I would not try to be applying for this. It doesn't make any logical sense. But I'm just telling you that this is a platform that's very easy to help you find a loan. And also, they deal with tribal lenders. Okay. Now, another platform that I mentioned to you guys is Credit Ninja. Credit Ninja, they also offer loans up to $5,000 as well. Now, again, it's a platform. But one of the things I want you to pay attention to with a lot of these platform lenders, each state, they have a restriction in terms of how much money you actually can borrow. Okay. So they have to go by those guidelines. So when they're finding lenders for you, that lender has to make sure that they are eligible to actually lend you the loan. Okay. And so right here, we're actually how do you become eligible? You know, and so the thing about it again, to be eligible, one of the things that they will check is the third party credit bureaus that I continue to tell you guys. So when I tell you guys that this is the challenge that most people don't understand, is that you would fill out an application. However, when you fill out that application, you may have just recently moved to a new address. And because you moved to a new address, then that address is not matching up with the third party credit bureaus, and that's what gets you denied. All right. Now, for you guys that are entrepreneurs, self employed, then again, this is what I was talking about, Giggle Finance. Okay. Now, the good part about Giggle Finance, they changed the game. And the reason they're giving more money, they used to only give 5,000. Now they give up to 10,000. But if you're a repeated customer, they give up to 20,000. Okay. And the best part about it, again, they're not focused on your credit. All right. They're not focused on the credit. As you can see, no credit requirements. They're focused on your activity in your bank account. All right. The activity in your bank account. All right. And so usually I would tell you make sure that you have at least regular deposit between 3 to 4 times a month. Now, the minimum income I would also tell you is make sure that you have at least $1,500 in deposits for this here. All right. That's the reason why I continue to tell you guys that it's these platforms out here. If you have a business and you can show that you have deposits and stuff, this is one of those companies that will work with you. All right. Then you also have Rise Credit. Now, the reason I'm bringing up Rise Credit is because I tell you guys about tribal lenders. Tribal lenders do not have the same standards as with the same standards as with a regular loan, okay? Because they're tribal lenders. They have their own governing regulations, all right? Now, with Rise Credit, they go up to $5,000, all right? Now, again, they're going to report from the report, they're going to pull your information from the third party credit bureaus. Okay. So they're going to look at Teletrack. They're going to look at Clarity, which is owned by Experian, Teletrack, which is owned by Equifax. Okay. And yes, they will, once you start paying back the loan on this here, they'll report it to TransUnion. However, when you first get the loan, they're not going to do a hard pull on the credit. All right. Now, once you go through those, then you can start considering like different credit unions. So this is a DC credit union, not DCU. There's a difference. But with DC credit union, they offer up to loans for $1,000. Okay. And you have to be in that area. All right. So they're not geo, they're not they're not nationwide. Okay. That's the thing about it. They are not nationwide. All right. However, I like them, and I'm gonna make a separate video to get more detail about why I like them, because they make it very easy for people that have a bad credit score as an entrepreneur to get qualified for a loan. All right. Then, if you're in the state of Florida, and it's not only restricted to the state of Florida, but this is the Community Credit Union of Florida. Okay. And so they offer two types of loans. So they have the quick cash from 200 up to 2,000. Then they have the payday that goes from 1,000 up to 2,500. Okay. Now, neither of these you have to have uh, good credit. Okay. This has nothing to do with credit. You just have to be a member for at least 90 days. Government employees or federal employees and stuff, you definitely should check out Cashable. And the reason you should check out Cashable is because, again, they mainly focus on government employees. Okay. And so, in terms of the loans, they offer loans from 500 up to 30,000 up to 3 months. All right. And so, being able to show proof that you're a government employee, they're more flexible with you as a government employee. All right. So I just wanted to make this quick video. I haven't made a video like this in a while. I just usually travel and shoot them out of my car. But hey, I decided I'll try it. I hope you liked the video. If you have any question about business credit funding, personal credit funding, removing negative items off the credit, click the link in the description. Schedule a one-on-one consultation. Thank you.